Driver extraordinaire Luke Janak's going to lead things off for the 50-lap feature for the Conestoga Sprayers and Asphalt Repair Thunder Cars. The 72 is Pistol Pete Marquardt. Then it's the Hulkamaniac Mike Langley in the 5. The 21 is Desiree Walt. Then it's the 24 of Leonard Johnston. The 80 is Doug Schenkel. The 12 is the Polish Prince Jim Molesky. A light show for the final time inside that Chevy Malibu here in 2012. The 77 is Brian Murray, and then it's the 39 of Travis Halliburton. The 00 is Daryl St. Ange. The 44 is the Deuce, Dave Doucette. The 54 is Ed Cole. The 10 is Rick Walsh. Then it's the 92 of Terry Lynn Dixon, and the 81 of Andrew Cole rounds out the field. We'll see the white flag this time by. We set them loose for 50 laps of green flag action here in the Conestoga Sprayers and Asphalt Repair Thunder Cars. The Davenport Subaru Impreza STI heads down pit lane. Thundercar driver extraordinaire Luke Janak in Pistol Pete Marquardt. That is front row. You'll hear the red start to pick up now in turn number 3 as we look for green off of turn 4. 8 waves and we're on the way. Looks like there is a bit of a tire mark on the outside of the wall.
Okay, I'm going to put this up here for now. Are you guys heading out? Yeah, we're going to
go down. So the 44 down pit lane, the GD Coat Suzuki. Number 44 of Dave Doucette. Getting a new right front tire, and they'll check the toe in. You hear some of the drivers, especially in Victory Lane, you heard Adam Meisner mention it, the toe in and toe out. What that is essentially how straight the wheels are pointed. So if it's toed in, picture the front of the tires aimed towards each other. If it's toed out, they're aimed away from each other, and that obviously affects the handling of the race car. So the crews check that out immediately. When cars come together side-by-side contact, you want to make sure those wheels are pointed in the right direction before you head them back out on the track. We have another birthday wish to pass along. A happy birthday to Marjorie Mayo, celebrating her 29th birthday here today. So happy birthday to Marjorie Mayo, celebrating another birthday here today from all of us here at Barrie Speedway, and family and friends as well. lap during that time spent in the pit. So unlike the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series who stopped here at Barrie Speedway last week, those laps continue to count. These ones do not. So because these drivers and teams, non-professional crews, a little extra time to change up those tires, make sure they get all the boots on tight, but stay safe. Looking back for green, Jeanette and Pistol beat Marquardt. Green flag waves, we're back on the way. Tires down on both the 72 and the 5 car. Mike Langland, at least I think there's a tire down the 72. It looked like it. Maybe not. Definitely 2 right side tires down on the 5 of Mike Langley as they did make contact into turn number 3. And that's why they got tied together, because as soon as those tires got cut down, Mike Langley had very little control of the Bargain Automotive Equipment number 5. So the 20th Thundercar driver extraordinaire Luke Janak continues to lead 8 laps in the books of a scheduled 50 for the Canastota Sprayers and Asphalt Repair Thundercars. The good folks at Canastota Sprayers and Asphalt Repairs have kept this track in tip-top shape. All these wonderful lines on the track, the walls all painted, everything looking spick and span, courtesy of Canastota Sprayers and Asphalt Repairs. They do a fantastic job all season long, making this place look as good as it has, including this cool checkered flag design for the start finish line. Change on the right side of the Bargain Automotive Equipment Oldsmobile. That car is for sale, actually, so if you're interested in getting involved in the Thundercar ranks, just head on over and talk to the Hulkamaniac at the end of this evening's race. And I think with the luck he's had here tonight, he'd gladly sell you that race car. And your leader continues to be, Thundercar driver extraordinaire Luke Janak. Leonard Johnston on the outside of the front row. Leonard Johnston gracious enough to hand over a ton of t-shirts we've been handing out over the course of the evening tonight. Thank you to proper.com. Line up to the outside off the 20 for this restart, and Janak gets on it a little bit early. We'll go green. She comes to a rest in the infield, and that'll draw the caution. We did not get a full lap back under green. On the drop of that green flag, Valesky starting in fourth spot alongside the 21 of Desiree Wall. Tons of horsepower for that Husky race engine. Chevy Malibu. Well, once again, Janak and Johnston going to lead it back to green. And wait, so we're back underway. Travis Halliburton also down pit lane. The Hillsdale Service Center. Chevy getting some service, so those two cars were running nose to tail on the racetrack. Third and fourth position at the time the collision came out. 20 laps officially in the books. So 30 laps remain. The length of a regular feature here at Barrie Speedway. For these Canastota Sprayers and Asphalt Repair Thundercar 2012. He's looking for more here tonight. A heat race win under his belt. The green flag waves. We're not going to win. Full contact on the inside. Schenkel upstairs in the 80. for the 10 car, Rick Waltz. And it looks like Waltz out of his car in the infield. Between the 24 of Leonard Johnston and the 00 of Daryl St. Ange. St. Ange was working. The lineup looks good in the 24 of Leonard Johnston. Leads the 00 of Daryl St. Ange, the 80 of Doug Schenkel, at 77 of Brian Murray being sent to the rear of the field as an involved car in that spin with the 10 car on turn number 4. So that'll promote the 44 of Dave Doucette all the way up inside the top 5. Who's going to win this one? The green flag is once again up in the air. Bob Dave Doucette with it. Doug Schenkel still inside. Pistol Pete Marquardt. The drivers all slow down to make sure they can make it through the smoke clearly. Make sure there's not a car waiting on the other side of that smoke cloud. Of course, we're going to crown the champions, all 3 divisions as well. The green flag waves and we're underway, and wow! Contact right off the start between the Jim Molesky get the worst of it. Caution flies. Halliburton was well high off the turn number 4, trying to blend his way back into traffic and caught the back end of the 12 of the Polish Prince Jim Molesky, and both went sliding down the front stretch wall. number of other cars went spinning through the infield and spinning to avoid the mess. Nobody made contact. See the cleanup crew quick on the scene to check on the condition of Travis Halliburton. And the red flag being shown on the field.
It's what I had to do to hold that.
So the field going to come to a rest as the safety team goes to check on the condition of the Polish Prince Jim Bileski. Came to a stop on the inside of.
If he didn't break, I was going to be like, and Adam was good. Like, if I had made one,
Is that all? That's all the cars Mike had there?
that's all.
And now the St. John's ambulance team out to check on Jim Bileski, who's complaining of some pain, according to NASCAR officials. So every precaution necessary taken here.
And I overrode them. They started coming around.
I gotta get into the pit to wait for the fight between Ricky and the other dude. Is that Halliburton who did that to him?
I did. That's all it takes is just
Oh, that was the 77 or the 72 car? Oh, 77. 77 is getting a
But fans, we can tell you an update from the 12 car. He is awake and conscious, so that is some good news inside that race car as the safety team
That's gonna be another fight to kill.
looks in, helps out the 12, the Polish Prince Jim Bileski. You can see his helmet still on the window net. He is now down. Travis Halliburton out of the 39 car up here in turn number 1.
track. But you know what? First year we watched NASCAR, Rusty Wallace had to win the race and do the most laps. And you know what? He did it. Oh, they're always chirping back and forth. Yeah, he just wants to make them and pick something that they're gonna have to rip the transmission in. Yeah, he don't like it. He doesn't like it. So he's standing there in protection watching. He's like, it's worth $100 for me just to watch him do this. He says, I don't really care because it's small. Yeah, really. Wow, Mr. Transmission. They are 400 transmission out of barriers. That's what they do. Yeah, the kid.
So are they gonna put it back together tonight?
Oh, yeah, probably not. It doesn't matter. The race is over. But the thing is,
Oh, yeah.
that's the car that won the championship last year. Daddy bought it for the kid. So, 4 points, I think. We're not sure. Willie could have went to 6th.
It looks like Jim Bileski is out of his race car. He'll take a trip in the ambulance just as a precaution, but scary hit for the driver of the 12 here on the front straightaway. Good folks at the St. John's ambulance will take good care of him.
So don't squish my car because I'm going to go to Hardy.
You're not doing it, Bonnie.
Yeah, we are. Oh, yeah. Will can't go, so...
Jim's had some pretty
so either...
wild wrecks in his
No,
time behind the wheel in a race car. I remember a few years ago at Peterborough Speedway,
Either Mike is gonna.
the car got airborne off of turn number 4.
Because Willie wants to win one at Barney.
And in that one, if you notice, Jim's got all the best safety measures on his side. He's got a full containment seat, one of those high-priced helmets, the high-end helmets, you could say. And so he stacks all the safety equipment in his favor, but unfortunately, sometimes things just happen. So he's okay, though. That's the good news.
I think that car's been made in front on the track, man.
And then his transmission blew up. Like, these things just don't happen. And then, like that, you know, in the metric rear end, there's that pin you slide through, and then you throw the little. Well, there's one of those in the neon, and that pin came out somehow.
Car comes to a rest down the backstretch, so he'll need a little bit of a push, and he's going to get that from the 72. Still being Mark Warren. That's pretty good sportsmanship, considering both of them got together earlier on this feature race. The 5, Mike Langley cut down to right side tires. And it looks like his evening is done. Jordan Choppers, number 5, the Hulkamaniac, is a little help. He'll roll it into the infield, so his evening is done. Again, we've just got 3 laps left to go in this 50-lap feature for the Canastota Sprayers and Asphalt Repair Thundercars. The tail of the field. Still the feature for the Lotus Ménage in the new state, new set. Green flag waves, so we're back underway. New set tucks in behind the 00 Daryl Ménage. He'll follow him to the line. That time by, here comes Dave Newsett, caught the turning and won it. 24 is waiting to find out what happens between these top 2 cars, and Johnston gets into the back of the 44. White flag waves, 1 more lap to go. Johnston will round out the top 3. With the top 3 here on the start-finish line. Don't forget, fans, we got another 50-lap feature for the Watchung Springs late models. Coming up to nearly cap the evening. Of course, we've got the mechanics races right after that. There's the money shot for photographers for sure, as Daryl St. Honest does a little showboating here in Victory Lane. No doubt Dave Doucette was watching, wondering what was going to happen there. He's getting the gloves off, the helmet comes off inside the race car. He battled hard and as he hops out, fans, how about a big round of applause, your feature race winner, Daryl St. Ange. Quite a dice there with the 44 in that last restart.
You know what, he's better on cold tires. We're way better on hot tires, and that caution, prolonged mess we had there. I hope Jim's okay. This thing, a little ropey, but 2 more laps, it comes in. It's pretty quick.
Had fun, didn't you?
Yeah, I like racing with Dave. We've raced good for years. He's one of the guys that I always enjoyed racing with. But you know what, enough about me. This is about Ricky Walt tonight, and I'd like to congratulate him. He did a great job this year. He raced hard. I'd like to also congratulate Gord Shepard. He mentored him into what he is, and he's a great driver.
Who do you want to thank tonight, Daryl?
My sponsors, Ron Mays for staying home. No, we did get stuff in the car and worked on it for a little bit. We didn't clean it though, so we'll just leave it dirty for the rest of the year.
Doesn't have to be clean to be fast, does it?
Sometimes it's nice if it's clean and fast, like Dave's car.
Daryl St. Ange, big winner here tonight, and Ken from Canastota Sprayers and Asphalt Repair, gonna hand over the hardware. Daryl. Mike Langley racing with a very strong message, and Jim Anderson, a long-time runner. And, congratulations on a good season, Mike, in the 5 and running for a very, very good cause. And Jim Anderson, man of his word, he got together with Jim in the off-season and said, well, actually last season, dates back to last year. And they agreed they're both going to go racing, and unfortunately Jim Anderson lost his battle with cancer and could not see that car run, but Mike Langley got that car going this year. And you can see on the rear spoiler in memory of Jim Anderson. So Jim ran that 5 number for many, many years. You might remember him as Jimmy Superfly doing a drop kick in turn number 2. Back in the old Rogers TV Power Hour days. If you Google Jimmy Superfly on YouTube,